All right, welcome. This is just some examples in case you weren't in class of drawing those heat flow diagrams for the heat stations. So I'm going to do a couple examples. So remember when we did our heat transfer stations, you had those 7 stations, and you're going to draw heat flow diagrams for each of those. And there might be multiple ones for each one, and I'll show you how one of them in the beginning has multiple ones. So it says for each heat station from our lab, draw a heat flow diagram including the system and surroundings which direction heat is flowing, and if the system is endothermic or exothermic. Clearly label each diagram. For the sand versus water and water boiling stations, include 2 heat flow diagrams for each. And I'm going to show you the sand versus water. And just to give you a hint, for the water boiling, it would be between the hot plate and the beaker, and then the beaker and the water. Okay? All right, here we go. All right, so if you remember, station 1, okay, was our boiling rice, okay? And so our rice and our water is where we were focusing for that one. So I'm going to draw my circle, okay? And I'm going to label out, here are my surroundings. And here is my system. Okay, so remember we're talking between the rice and the water. And so we saw that the rice was going out. So the system was our rice and the surroundings was the boiling water. Okay? All right. So if you remember, the rice was probably cold when I put it in there. But the water began to boil and it became my hot object. And if you remember, it's going from hot to cold. So this one was definitely absorbing. Okay. This one, if this one's absorbing, then this one has to be releasing. Okay. And so the heat is probably going this way. So I'm going to put my arrow. Heat is this way. Now I'm going to label my arrow heat. And then I'm going to say, okay, well, my system is absorbing, so this must be endothermic because it is absorbing heat. Okay. All right. Station number 2. This was our sand versus water. Okay. Now this one, you're going to have 2 different ones. So I had one system, which was my sand, and one system that was my water. Okay. And then I have my surroundings. Sorry for my bad handwriting, by the way. And my surroundings. Okay. All right. So we have my sand and my water. And my surroundings would be my heat lamp. Heat lamp. Okay. And so we knew the sand was increasing in temperature, so it had to be absorbing. So heat had to go from my heat lamp in. Same with my water. It would go from here to here. So if its system is absorbing, then of course we would call it endothermic. And notice I am labeling each of my heat diagrams either endothermic or exothermic. Okay. So as you get to these different stations, you'll have different things, such as you have the boiling water, which will have 2. You'll have the hand boiling station. Then you also have the melting of ice. You have the wood and metal. You also have the lava lamp. Okay, so make sure you're going back and making a heat flow diagram for each one. Okay, and then have it checked by Mrs. V. All right, if you have any questions, let me know.